Greetings, crafters, and welcome to episode 115 of Better Than Wolves with T-Kush35. I greet you with another new update from Flower Child. This is version 4.abcfefe, and this one greatly affects the rules of mob spawning in ways that can result in brutal and unexpected dismemberment, as Flower Child says. So, the biggest change is modifying the blocks that mobs can spawn on. For example, it makes wood a safe haven and other blocks not, and also messes with the rules for where mobs can spawn, as in making them able to spawn in more places than they were able to previously. Now, I would really like to be able to give a nice summary of this, but I think it is a lot more clear to be able to simply read from the changelog, maybe paraphrasing here and there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, perfect. So, first batch of flower pots successful. So you might be able to tell that I have not played since the last episode. The biggest change... this is from the holiday, isn't it? Yeah, that's fun and exciting. The biggest change is going to be evident in the mushroom farm that I have, because that area should be able to spawn mobs because it is not wooden slabs, it's just stone. So that's going to be an easy way of showing that. Unfortunately, I do not have the ender eyes available. I think I only have I don't have any spare ender eyes because I used them on my last ender spectacles and they are gone. So, actually, what time of day is it? It is morning. Well, okay, so we'll first go see if any mobs spawned down here. Since supposedly they can now. Looks like no. But the easiest way is he modified it so Ender Spectacles will update, or will show these spawn areas. So what I'm going to do is head over to the desert on the other side of the pond here, and then I will read off changes while hunting Enderman. So let's go ahead and just dump all of my valuables in here for the moment, so I'm not in danger of losing them if I die. Get some food, get the bow, get some more food, and I think that should be sufficient. I'm gonna have a health potion just in case. Got some diamond armor, that's pretty nice. Don't think I'm gonna use it. Okay, so gonna head over there, and I will come back and then start reading the change logs. Okay, here I am at the desert. It's about midday, so I'll spend until nighttime reading through changes and then hunt for Enderman to make Ender Spectacles. So here we go. This version comes with a big old warning. It substantially changes the rules of mod spawning in ways that can result in the brutal and unexpected dismemberment. Please make sure that you understand the following changes thoroughly before playing in an existing world, lest you come home to a creeper to the spleen, or to find your rustic wood mob traps output has dropped to nothing. So then, first bullet point, added a new mob spawning system that is listed as individual changes below, but here's the general summary. Mobs can now spawn on almost any shape of block, but are restricted by the materials they can spawn on. So, using a bunch of slabs isn't going to prevent mobs from spawning on it anymore. It only will work with mobs cannot spawn on wood, giant mushroom blocks, mycelium, or bedrock. Jungle spiders are the only mobs that can spawn on leaves, as before, and in the nether, mobs may only spawn on nether brick or netherrack, as before. That's it. So, if you had a big wooden mob tower, it's not going to work anymore. That was going to be my backup since netherrack doesn't work due to gravity, but now that's not going to work either. So, we got to come up with, I suppose, a very large clay system and use it on blocks to make them stay, which is unfortunate. Or use wood to support a stone tower. So that would have to make it a lot bigger to have the same amount of output, but that would be a way around it. Next up, added new flammable giant mushroom blocks. This will not affect blocks already placed in your world, but since mushrooms will now potentially grow into giant flaming emblems of the apocalypse, be sure to check in on any farms that you might have affected. That sounds fantastic. Added blocks of iron and gold ore. They can be created in the crafting grid with 9 ore or through piston packing. They can be smelted in a kiln for a full ingot, which provides both a means of smelting in bulk and an alternate method of automating ore smelting. That's amazing news for me because I have a whole bunch of iron ore that I could smelt up now. Added the ability to see where mobs can spawn in the nether while wearing ender spectacles. Both this and the last point I will show once I have some actual... Why is there an enderman out during the day? Once I have some actual ender spectacles and I'm back at the base, I will show the blocks of iron and gold ore and the ender spectacles working in the nether. Next point. Oops, sorry. Changed all mobs to be able to spawn on pretty much any kind of block. I might have missed some, but the goal here is to reach a point where if there's room for a mob to reasonably stand on a block, it can spawn there. If I forgot any, I'll correct them in the future, so please don't rely on block shape to prevent mob spawning anymore, as it may change at any time. So, like I was saying with the stone slabs that's used in my mushroom farm, that's not going to work anymore. It'll have to be wood, and that will prevent them from spawning, which is nice. Changed mobs to not be able to spawn on blocks primarily made of wood. A thin surface layer like on pistons and turntables won't prevent spawning. The overall intent here is to make mob spawning less block type and more material dependent, both so that there's more of a progression and an internal consistency to being able to build with spawn-proof blocks, and to further emphasize the unique building properties of different block types. Any flaming death that results is purely coincidental, as is any perceived glee I may seem to express at such events. That's a direct quote from Flower Child. Changed mobs to be able to spawn in 1 block high gaps if their body shape allows it. It mainly applies to spiders, but also prevents exploiting certain block shapes to create player walkable areas. Changed mobs to be able to spawn on ice. It was done to prevent frozen bodies of water from being big safe zones, especially in the early game. Changed mobs to be able to spawn on glass blocks to prevent it from being a non-flammable, non-gravity affected, non-mob spawning, commonly available uber material of doomy doom doom. So that would actually be a way of making a cool mob trap, is using glass blocks. That would be really nice, because then you could see what you're building on too. Good thought for the future. Changed slimes to not be able to spawn on wood like other mobs, in addition to their existing spawn restrictions, which remain unchanged from previous releases. Changed ender spectacles to accurately reflect all the changes to mob spawning in this release. If you're uncertain if a particular block type can spawn mobs on it, then the ender specs are an ideal way to figure this out. Changed how the burn times for various blocks works internally for the sake of simplifying the code. Refactored a metric done ton of block code, both vanilla and mod, in the process of fixing the collision thing I described below. Please let me know if you run into any weird block behavior, as it would be unlikely that he didn't make a mistake. On the bright side, he made a number of unlisted improvements that went along with that. Changed the number of blocks to render fewer non-visible faces to help with performance. Changed cows to panic if you attempt to milk one that doesn't have a full udder. Now, this was inherently happening to me because I would accidentally place a bucket, but now they'll definitely freak out. Fixed a problem where spiders targeting something other than the player could wind up hanging around without despawning for an exceedingly long time. Fixed a few vanilla problems where mobs and other entities would sometimes fall through slabs and other sub-blocks, which became more noticeable now that mobs can spawn on them. This is not related to the various visual glitches which can occur along these lines with entities bouncing between positions, but rather the entities themselves. Major thanks to Alexander Gunderman, Toros, for diagnosing and thoroughly documenting several Minecraft collision bugs, and then he links a GitHub repository. The information he provided has been invaluable. Suffice it to say, there are a lot of collision issues in 1.5.2. Not seeing any Endermen around yet, so I am going to continue reading for the time being. Fixed a vanilla problem where mobs and animals would get stuck in blocks and sometimes suffocate on chunk load. Fixed vanilla AI pathfinding problems with animals getting stuck in fence corners. Fixed a problem where ground cover such as snow or ash resting around cobble walls would change the shape of the wall. Fixed an issue where hand cranks could no longer rest on top of millstones. Fixed a problem where dedicated servers would crash on startup if they were using the mod's config file. Fixed a problem with the saw block playing a sawing sound when first placed. Fixed a vanilla problem that was limiting the number of mobs that would spawn in flat areas with lots of ground cover. It was particularly noticeable in super flat worlds where it would prevent mobs from spawning entirely. Fixed a problem where iron chisels could not be stuck into blocks in cobblestone. Ooh. We're going to pause reading for a moment here while I do battle with this Enderman, if he's actually going to come here. Come here, you jerk. Come on. There we go. Just had to entice him out. Come on. I want your eye. Or whatever. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Whoop. Ow. Was able to hit me through that? Talented. Where'd he go? 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 Apparently there's gonna be a creeper coming up here. If you could just not. Cool. Where'd the Enderman go? Well, now I'm nervous. What? Just disappeared? I feel cheated. Another creeper. That's right. Could use the oysters. Not sure why the Enderman went away. I don't think it died. I only hit him twice. Bummer. Well, give me a chance to finish reading. Fixed a problem where pickaxes could be stuck as blocks into glass. Fixed a problem where jack-o'-lanterns would still drop a torch when extinguished by water, even though they're now crafted with a candle. Fixed a vanilla issue where some chunks would not properly render, even though they were fully loaded by the client, resulting in lines of missing chunks in the world. Much thanks to Andre del Campo Novales for providing a simple solution to the problem here, and he links to a Mojang bug website. Please let me know if you see any new chunk or visual oddities, etc., etc. Removed the config file options for limiting slime and nether mob spawning. Given the extent to which mob spawning has now changed, configuring individual aspects of its behavior is no longer feasible, and I do not believe these options were used much anyway. Removed all high-efficiency crafting recipes involving stone sub-blocks, as they were rendered obsolete by the inclusion of stone bricks in the last release. And that brings us to the fully updated list of changes. So I'm going to hope to correctly remember to show the Ender Spectacle stuff and the iron and gold blocks. And then this episode is going to focus on double checking the mob tower that I made a while ago. Hopefully my build will be fine since it was made of netherrack, which might or might not be. At this point it's considered a little cheaty, I guess, because that's not a thing anymore, but it was already built, and I don't think remaking it is totally feasible, so we'll just leave that as is. and I'll come back to those changes in the future. For now, just trying to find some Endermen. I should maybe work on coming here during the daytime and just leveling the whole place, because these ridges make it a little more difficult to see Endermen properly, and I'm not sure how well they spawn in a non-completely flat area. It'll also give me a nice supply of sand, so that's always useful. I think I probably need to be wandering a little bit further in order to properly get Endermen to spawn. Or to, you know, overwrite the spawns that I already have going on. So, I think I'm gonna either put this into fast time or cut it, and I will be back once I have some Ender Spectacles. So I will see you then. Whew. Quick coming back from that scary adventure with the Enderman that almost murdered me, thanks very much to that health potion that I made past me, though I think that might have actually been from a witch, so I'm gonna have to make a couple more of those. Anyway, coming to show the blocks of iron ore. So, here we go. That is a block of iron ore. It looks more like a bunch of dirt, but let's go see what it looks like when it smelts, and hopefully I'll have just enough time to do this and then get back to the desert over there before things go awry. So this is cooking. Not seeing any lines evidence, so I'm going to imagine that this is going to take a lot longer to cook than I really want to sit here for. So we'll actually come back later to check that out. So I will be back at the desert. Alright, so that'll be just enough to make some Ender Spectacles, so let's go ahead and head back to the base, because I am not yet at the stage where I need to hunt Endermen for an extended period of time. If I continue trading with the priest, then I will, but I'm not quite at that stage yet. Haven't been 100% focusing on the priest, which might mean I'm making a bit slower progress than I should be. For example, having a level 4 blacksmith might not be as high of a priority as working on the priest, because the priest, you know, would let me get to the end eventually. I do need to work on being able to kill the wither, which is going to be an interesting endeavor. I think I'm going to have to... I definitely need a lot more potions, so I'm going to need a squid farm again in order to make some health potions. We're also going to want to make splash potions, strength potions, whole bunch of potions, really. I'm going to be submitting at least a query on the... I'm going to look at the forums and whatnot, but it appears that netherwort right now cannot be harvested by hand. You can break the block below and harvest it. Just not sure if that's supposed to be a thing. But I'm going to take a look at the forums at some point to see if that's intentional or if people have already submitted a bug report regarding that. We'll find out. Either way, we're going to head on back to the villager base and check out where on Earth... No. Some ender spectacles to see where mobs can spawn. Yeah, that's right. Might need to go ahead and make a bunch of wooden slabs to fix the mushroom farm to prevent spawning there. Also, this isn't going to prevent... These slabs are not going to prevent spawning. I think I have it lit up well enough. And we can find out in a hot second here. I need a leather strap. That's a strap. So, is it 4 or 8? Yeah, must be 8. Yep. Alright, and then the strap in between the ocular of ender. Perfect. So this will be my 3rd pair already, because I haven't been the best at keeping them safe. So let's go ahead and... Do I have some blocks? I have some sand. That'll be good enough. Oh yeah, top of those. Spawn haven right now. Yeah, so let's go ahead and replace that. That's no good. Oh, they can even spawn on top of the cocoa beans? That's no good. Did I have some slabs? I think I needed some. I had some slabs in here. Gonna have to probably make some more, which is fine. I have plenty of logs for now. Might have to make a whole bunch more, but for the time being, safety is what this is all about. So let's Geronimo over here. Yeah, that's right, because I don't have any light sources up here. Might be better to just put some light sources instead of worrying about this. But now, as you can see, mobs cannot spawn on top of that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just put wooden slabs to cover this all. Since, as far as I'm aware, these don't need light. And 1 block seems like just 1 block too many to allow mobs to spawn on. In a base that's all about assuming that I'm safe. So this is a nice protection. It does, of course, make things a little more flammable, which is not so good. And, of course, it's daytime now, so these are not registering as valid spawn points anymore. So this should be lit up. This is probably lit up enough. That up there actually might be a concern now. No, but that's all wood, so that's fine. My wooden roofs are going to be fine. So that means I don't have to have these torches sitting up here, which is fantastic. We can check that out the next night around here. But let's go ahead and take a look at the mushroom farm. I think that's the only place that I'm actually exploiting the light rules. Yeah. See, so I can hear zombies in here. It's very likely that there are some enemies in there, so I'm going to go ahead and take those off. Yep. There we have it. Yep. Wow. That's fun. Okay. Can they spawn in here? Where'd they go? There they are. Yeah. That's amazing. And terrible. That's terrifying. So, I guess I'm gonna... Ooh. That means spiders can spawn Huh. Do these mushrooms spawn on wood? I need to perform an experiment. Because if I can have this be all be wood, then that's fine. That solves my problem. Because the spiders being in here would be kind of detrimental. Because previously, these blocks were meant to prevent spider spawning, which obviously they're not going to anymore. But if I have it just be wood, then that's fine. The only thing I would need to worry about, and it's not really a worry, it's just I'd want to put a different wood for the base, so that I can distinguish between a spawner block and a not spawner block. Actually, I'm going to need to do that right now, so I'm going to leave this light on. Hopefully no no mobs will spawn. I have the door there, at least if they do. So what do I have? I do have a bunch of jungle wood planks, so we will grab that. We're going to grab more oak wood so I can make more slabs. And then I'm going to put away some of this other stuff. I've got some lovely bunch of items here. Just toss that there for now. Sand can go here. Sand. Okay, hopefully that will get me enough space. And then I'm going to grab more of these oak planks. Because, holy moly, it's the danger zone down in there. Right here. Alright, yeah, this is an adventure to be sure. So the spawner blocks are now going to be the jungle wood. And this is just all going to be replaced. And I'm hoping that mushrooms can spawn on wood. There's only one way to find out. I guess best case scenario, they do. And that's all well and good. Worst case scenario, they don't, but at least I won't have a giant mob farm in here. Because I want the mobs to be spawning in my actual mob farm instead of in my mushroom farm. So I am going to not film all of this because it's just going to be repetitive, and as long as I'm not an idiot, I shouldn't die to any mobs. So I will be back when this is done, and then we will go ahead and see what a smelted iron block looks like once it has gone through the kiln, because I think that'll look pretty cool. Or maybe even look at the various stages of it to watch it. Maybe get some screenshots or something. I don't know. Not quite sure on how I'm going to implement that yet. So, I will be back when I am done with this, and we'll check out some other features of the updates. So I will see you then. Toodaloo. And we're back, able to check out the tops of my roofs to check that they can't spawn anything. I don't think that there should actually be any other problem areas. Pretty sure I just went and lit up all of this. For the most part. I only was able to complete half of the mushroom farm as far as protection with wooden slabs and wood goes. I think I'm gonna finish out the floor so that mobs can't spawn there, because I believe that that's the actual problem area, and I might have gone ahead and done all of the wood for potentially no real reason. I want to see if the wood will still work, because if it does, then that's beneficial as far as keeping it completely safe goes. So what I'm gonna do, I placed that block of iron up there so we can see how it looks when it smelts. And I'm going to go ahead and finish out just the wooden slabs here. Hopefully I have enough. we're just towards the end of this section here. Yeah, and as you can see, these are all still registering as spawnable areas. However, as far as I'm aware, spiders need at least a 2x3 area, and this particular design does not allow that. So if I can get the walkways all fixed up, then this section back here, which is still stone for the mushroom spawning areas, will be fine and dandy. Obviously, there's that one section over here that I need to... Granted, the mobs aren't going to be able to do anything, but I'll just block that off for now. Oh, and I'm actually running out of cut wood, so I'm going to need to go ahead and do that at some point too. I don't think that there's... I have been debating... Sorry, let me restart. I have been debating making a batch saw setup, which would have like 4 sawmills right on top of each other, and then I just stand under it and hold down the right click instead of just having one that works for you at a time. And I think that that might be the next project, because I think it's pretty useful being able to speed up the wood production, because that is pretty tedious. Not nearly as tedious as kilns are nowadays, but it is getting there. Everything being slowed down until you have automation, while valid, because apparently people weren't automating stuff. I absolutely love automation. I want to get to it as fast as possible. But there are those that weren't, so turning it into a bigger reason for doing it is legitimate. So I'm going to go ahead and go cut up some wood, and then I'll be back. Well, no, let's go ahead and run upstairs quick to see what the block of iron looks like, and then I can use the sawmill to make some more, to cut some more wood. So, watching the iron. Oh yeah, so it has more of that, it's cooking texture to it. So this is back to using Wired's. I believe it's Wired. That's how I pronounce his username. His texture pack, Derivation Omega. Just using the alternate textures for the villagers that he included in the pack. So I think that means once we get this bad boy to level 4, he should have spectacles, and maybe it's level 5 that they have a different... Well, let me take off my goggles, of course. Because these villagers changed at level 4. The blacksmith, I can't tell if he looks much different. It might be easier to tell. Well, here. We'll just do it. The, no, sorry. Texture packs. Default. Oh, I didn't even switch. I'm terribly sorry. I need to be in... Not that one. Yeah, something's wrong. It's not this one. This is the custom one that I had. Is it this one? No, that's behind. I need to switch to... I need to fix my texture packs. But for now, just going to check to see if they look any different. No, they don't. So he doesn't have spectacles on yet. Oh my gosh, it's been a while since I've looked at this. And these guys actually don't look different. Interesting. Oh yeah, I like the other texture pack so much better than this one. Yeah, so, right, checking out the, okay, yeah, so that's definitely cooking. So let's go ahead and switch texture packs back to this one for the current time. And then I'm actually going to go check that I'm using the more up-to-date one that he sent me. So I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and it didn't look like the melting iron block had any different of a texture. I am, just to show, I am using the newest edition of Omega, and that's with the alternate textures for the villagers. They are still appearing normal. And let's go check the stone blocks, because he had some updates there. Yes, the stone brick. That looks so much better. And then I bet the walls look better too. Ooh, he did... Did these look slightly different? Or am I just crazy? I could just be crazy. No, those still look different. Or not as good. So those might need a texture update. But what I was working on was I was checking out the texture pack changes, and then I'm going to go chop up some more wood so that I can finish that mushroom farm. So I will see you then. Okay, wood's all chopped up, so we're good to go on the rest of this flooring. Still going to find out if this wood or not wood experiment is going to work. I'm hoping that the mushrooms will be able to spawn on the wood. Like I said, for safety reasons, I should have more than enough slabs to finish this. I should have put a bunch of that wood that I cut up away, but it's just chilling in my inventory for now, which is fine and dandy. But this will make the mushroom farm safe again, and it shouldn't even be able to spawn spiders in either the wood area or this area here, because as far as I'm aware, there's not enough space for them to spawn. So the true experiment will be the wood versus not wood distinction. It'd look a lot nice and neater if I could have it be all wood. I would like that a lot. But that's fine for now. So, I believe having gone over the changes of the update, as far as I can tell, it should now be a good time to go ahead and proceed on to something productive, which can be whatever we want. I'm just going to dump all this wood. So much wood. Apparently 9 slabs, too many. Okay, that's fine and dandy. How about this has a home? Yes, perfect. Dump the sand and dump this. And we're going to put this in a safe area. Now I have some mushrooms for trading, which is excellent. And this random chest here is full of stuff. Oops, that's not what I wanted. So let's go ahead and rip that back up so I don't institute random chests. So, contraption bits, redstone, pottery I need to make, stuff I did from constructing, all the stuff over there, jack-o'-lanterns, cobblestone. I've got surplus cobblestone over here for now. Dirt, loose stone, so much to put away, and so very little time. Planters, gonna worry about later. Actually, I'll put that in better than wolves pieces. And we'll start. Let's go ahead and see what trades we can do. Still hoping to level up the librarian. Gas tiers I can't really get easily. Should have some creeper oysters. Ah, yes, the entire reason for the smelting, or the kiln and whatnot, was to make a whole bunch of soul urns, which I will go ahead and do at some point in the near future. Probably off camera, because now we have the giant thing, we don't necessarily need to see it in action. But if I go ahead and grab some creeper oysters, we can get another trade with the blacksmith over there. Herp. Just give you some of that. Yeah, give me an emerald. Me and my 54 emeralds, thank you. It's been decent racking them up. What do you want now? You want a diamond for 2 emeralds. I'd rather not, so I'll just wait on the soul urn trade. Oh. They're all green now? That seems odd. In the other version of the texture pack, they were not. So I wonder if the dirty peasant texture pack got mixed up, or texture got mixed with the leveled one. Hard to say. You want more mushrooms? Of course you do. You want jungle wood, which I should have some. Yeah. And over here, oop. Mushrooms, 11. Not quite enough. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue with the trades here, and I'm gonna make up some soul urns, and then I'll be back. Okay, so a little bit of baking later. Well, not baking, but using the kiln later. Gave him some soul urns, now the diamond helmet, and his next trade is unspecified, so it might take a little bit for him to obtain his 4th trade. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to go ahead and just continue cooking up this pottery. And we're just going to make a whole bunch of soul urns for now, and maybe populate them. Well, yeah, actually it only makes sense to make them full-on soul urns. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and work on the priest trades. And what was I can't remember what the last thing that the priest wanted. It might be something, because I gave him the vessel of the dragon. Yeah, so now it's block of bone. And the diamond legging. Yeah, block of bone. So I just needed a whole bunch of bones. That's why I was... Oh yeah, I did chill by the mob farm for a little bit, didn't I? Okay, yeah. Apologies, I've sort of lost my way. All of the, family gatherings and whatnot over the course of the last several days have my memory in a tizzy. So I did get some bones, so I'm not sure if I can just do this by hand. That would be pleasant. No. So I'm gonna... Oh yes, that's what I needed a regular soul urn for, was to make a piston. And now we're able to do that. So let's go ahead and grab the materials that I need for that. We'll need this plus soul urn. We'll go ahead and put my clay back. Planter needs to go over here instead. This is random plants. More clay. Dirt over yonder. And then I need piston, so I need some redstone. Iron ingot, and I assume it's these stone bricks now. That would make the most amount of sense to me. So, iron, solar, you, and you, plus siding. I'm forgetting... Huh. Maybe that recipe doesn't work anymore. So if it's not stone brick, I'm gonna figure that out, and then I'll be back. Duh, it's a redstone latch, not just regular redstone. Come on, keep with the program. And there's a redstone latch. Wonderful, so wonderful. Okay, now we try this again. We get this, we get that, we get soul urn, we get some redstone. Sorry, redstone latch, come on. Was just talking about that. And then, so I've never actually done piston squishing before, so let's go ahead and see. I want a lever or a button or something. Lever, perfect. And then I'm just gonna use some cobblestone because that seems fitting, and we'll just toss it right here. I assume I just need to do like this. And then if I put this right here, that seems right. And then a lever on it. Like I said, I've never had to do this before, so this will be interesting. I'll just shove a whole bunch of bone in there and squish. Yeah. Wonder, it would make sense if it needed something on top, too. I'm gonna try it with clay, because I know that's a recipe. Yeah, okay, so clearly something's not right about this setup. So let's try it with some wood on top. Then we'll see how that works. Okay, so that did a thing. So that's what I needed. So now if I do the bone... Ooh. Okay, so that was correct. Awesome. Fancy. I don't know if I have enough bones to make the 4 that I need. I do. That was pretty neat. Definitely need a way to automate that, though. Probably involves a hopper or something cool like that. But yeah, not going to worry about that yet, because squishing the clay doesn't do anything for me. Might be able to do something with that for automation in the far, far future, though. Oh, shoot. I had left some pottery over here. Hopefully it's still around. Okay. Phew. Luckily, it takes so long, it probably wasn't even close to ready. Wouldn't be the end of the world to lose that, but a little bit expensive. So let's go ahead and, yep, I'm going to use my running. I should probably go ahead and make this all flooring that I can move along quicker. So here you go. Have some bones. What now? Now you want green candles. So I have candles, so I'm going to need green dye. I think we get that by melting down cactus. So I'm going to go ahead and mess with that. And then I shall return when the priest has some cool trades or we're going to the next level. And then that'll probably wrap it up for the episode because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a long one again, but that's fine. A lot of it was used up with all of the update whatnot, so I'll be back when the priest is ready to be at level 4. Toodaloo. And we're back for the end of the episode, which will broach level 4 of the priest with a runed skull, this was a change introduced in 4.A3 Headed Beastie on December 24th, so a year ago. Holy mackerel. I think I was playing my private game at that point, and I was past this stage. So this is a change that I've not been introduced to. It now, let's see. This also introduced adding infused skulls as a new item and block. In terms of functionality, they replace wither skulls for summoning the wither. They may either be acquired through trading or by combining a rune skull, a soul urn, and soul flux in the crafting grid. So that's not something that I'm going to be able to do, obviously. Added a new method of acquiring wither skulls through trading to provide an alternative approach to decapitating a large number of wither skeletons. I'm not sure at what stage the villager is going to be able to do that. I bet it is in stage 4 that they offer the rune skull trades. So I am going to have to do a whole bunch of murdering of wither skeletons to get a skull. But that's going to be in the next episode, probably in some sort of speed through until I can get to that point. So with that, I would like to thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in. Toodaloo.